Slide your hand under a rust-eaten wheel well and you'll feel it before you see it. That soft, flaking crust that used to be solid steel. Most people think there are only two ways to deal with it. Pay a shop several $100s to grind it off and spray rubber underneath, or grab a cheap rattle can and do the same thing badly in their own driveway. Here's the part almost nobody tells you. Both of those routes can make the problem worse, not better. And the fix that actually works isn't sold in the automotive aisle at all. It's sitting 2 aisles over, next to the concrete sealer, and it costs about $2 a bottle. Start with what rust actually is, because that's where both popular fixes go wrong. Rust, iron oxide, isn't a stain sitting on top of metal. It's a chemical reaction happening inside the metal, where iron, oxygen, and moisture keep combining and expanding outward. As it grows, it flakes, and every flake it drops exposes fresh steel underneath that starts corroding immediately. That's why rust seems to spread on its own even when nothing new touches it. It's a self-feeding reaction, not a static patch of dirt. So think about what grinding actually does to that. A wire wheel or a grinder can strip off the loose, crumbly top layer, and the metal underneath looks clean and shiny again for a while. But rust doesn't just sit on the surface. It works its way into microscopic pits in the steel, and no amount of grinding fully reaches every pocket. Months later, the rust that survived in those pits reappears because the shop treated the symptom, not the reaction. Rubberized undercoating has the opposite problem. Spraying a thick rubber layer directly over active rust doesn't stop the reaction. It seals moisture in against the metal in the dark, where you can't see it working. By the time the rubber starts bubbling or peeling years later, the corrosion underneath has often had a head start nobody noticed. Shops aren't lying to you when they sell this. Undercoating genuinely helps protect metal that's already clean and dry. The problem is applying it over rust that hasn't actually been dealt with. Here's the shift. The fix people overlook isn't a stronger grinder or a thicker rubber coat. It's a chemical reaction that turns the rust itself into something stable. And the active ingredient behind it has been sitting in hardware stores for decades under a completely different label, phosphoric acid. You've actually tasted a diluted version of it. It's the ingredient that gives cola its sharp, tangy edge. Industrially, it's used to etch bare concrete before sealant is applied, which is why you'll find it in the concrete care aisle labeled as concrete etch, concrete cleaner, or driveway prep, with phosphoric acid listed as the main active ingredient. It's also the chemistry behind an old military and industrial process called phosphating or parkerizing, used for generations to protect steel tools and firearm parts from corrosion. This isn't some new discovery. It's a well-established reaction that just never got marketed toward car owners. Here's why it works. When phosphoric acid contacts iron oxide, it doesn't simply wash it away like a cleaner would. It reacts with it and converts it into a new compound, iron phosphate. Iron phosphate is dark, hard, and unlike the rust it came from, chemically stable. It doesn't keep expanding, it doesn't keep flaking, and it bonds tightly to the sound metal underneath instead of sitting loosely on top of it. You're not scraping the disease away. You're changing its chemistry so it stops behaving like a disease. That's also why the industry rarely mentions this option. It's not some secret being suppressed. It's simpler than that. A $2 bottle of etching solution doesn't fit into a business built around 3-hour labor bills and branded rubber undercoating kits. There's very little profit margin in telling you to walk down the concrete aisle instead of booking an appointment. Here's how to actually do it. Step 1, don't sand down to bare metal. You don't need to, and it wastes effort. Use a cheap wire brush to knock off the loose, flaking chunks of rust that are barely attached. You're clearing debris, not polishing steel, and a few minutes of light scraping is enough. Step 2, pour the concrete etching solution into a basic plastic spray bottle. Step 3, before you spray anything, put on chemical-resistant gloves, safety goggles, and a respirator rated for acid mist. Phosphoric acid is a genuine corrosive, and it will irritate skin and eyes and eat into paint and aluminum trim on contact, so keep it off anything you're not treating. Step 4, saturate the rusted area thoroughly, working it into every seam and pitted section you can reach. The more complete the contact, the more complete the reaction. Step 5, leave it alone for roughly 24 hours. Don't wipe it, don't rinse it, don't touch it. When you come back, the orange flaking rust should have turned into a dark, matte, solid surface. That dark layer is iron phosphate, and it's far more corrosion resistant than the rust it replaced. But treat it as a strong primer, not a permanent force field. For real long-term protection, especially on a frame exposed to years of road salt and moisture, plan on brushing on an oil-based primer or paint once the converted surface is fully dry. Skipping the top coat isn't dangerous, but it does mean the metal is protected less completely than if you'd sealed it. Don't let anyone tell you the conversion alone is a lifetime guarantee. One more thing worth knowing. Dedicated automotive rust converter products sold at auto parts stores generally use the same phosphoric acid chemistry, sometimes blended with tannic acid or other bonding agents, and often at a marked up price for a smaller bottle. That doesn't make them useless. Some of those additives genuinely improve adhesion, but a plain concrete etching solution at the right concentration gets you most of the same core reaction for a fraction of the cost. Just check the label for the phosphoric acid percentage before you buy, since concentrations vary between brands. This isn't a story about a hidden conspiracy. It's a story about how much of what actually works never gets marketed to you, simply because there's no money in a $2 bottle. The corrosion that would have cost you hundreds of dollars and still come back 6 months later can instead be neutralized this weekend for less than the price of a coffee. That's not a secret they're hiding from you. It's just a fact nobody had a reason to advertise. Now you know it. What you do with that is up to you.